This is the Horse Radio Network.
This is episode 565 of Horse Tip Daily. A different horse tip, a different equine topic, a different equestrian expert every day. Horse Tip Daily brings the world of equine knowledge to you, one day at a time. Today's tip is brought to you by feedxl.com, because nutrition matters. Hi, Coach Jen here, and thanks for tuning in to Horse Tip Daily. Today's tip is from Michelle Bergeron of Right Lead Equestrian Center in Louisiana. Michelle is a graduate of Louisiana Scholars College, a North American Riding for the Handicapped registered instructor, British Horse Society certified instructor, and a certified instructor and judge for the World Side Saddle Federation. Not to mention an all-around amazing horsewoman. Today's tip is just up your alley if you enjoy listening to the tunes when you ride. But first, let's hear a word from today's sponsor, feedxl.com.
Poor Gypsy is suffering from horse envy. He's the new kid in the pasture and can't get over the stamina and shape of his fellow stallmates. Rumors around the barn point to FeedXL. It seems their owner has been online and discovered the FeedXL nutrition tool. That means Gypsy's in for a big transformation. The other horses have been telling Gypsy all about the changes made to their diet and how FeedXL has improved their overall well-being. When it comes to your horse's diet, conflicting advice can result in overfeeding and money wasted. With a FeedXL nutrition tool, enter your horse's weight, diet, and activity level to get started. It'll allow you to see where your horse's diet stands and give you the opportunity to revise it until it's balanced. FeedXL has the latest science backing them up, allowing you to take charge of your horse's diet with an easy-to-use nutrition tool, taking the guesswork out of what to feed your horse. It's almost like Gypsy has his own personal nutritionist right at the barn. Visit feedxl.com for a simple and easy nutrition tool to balance your horse's diet for optimum health.
Now, enjoy today's tip. And welcome back, Michelle Bergeron of Louisiana, and chief cook and bottle washer at the Right Lead Equestrian Center, where good times are had by all. What have you got on the docket for us today?
I have a boarder who came up with a really great idea. I was very, very impressed with it. I'm going to send you some pictures of it, Jen, so you can post it so everybody can see.
Oh, yeah, put the picture in there. I can put it up, too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. This boarder loves to ride to music. And The only sound system we have is what we use for horse shows, and the whole neighborhood would hear it if we plugged in and played music every day, and they probably wouldn't really appreciate it. So Deborah went through several different ideas. She would put some speakers for her iPod up on the picnic table, and if the wind blew, you couldn't hear it. She was just really perplexed by this. So I told her about this saddle pad that I had seen several years ago, and it had speakers in it, and you could play as you went. Well,
wait a minute. Wait. Stop right there. Saddle pad with speakers already in it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, back where you would have like your breed emblem or your club logo, just little speakers.
That's
So you would
hilarious.
plug it into, your iPod or whatever you're listening to music on. So she looked that up. They were really expensive. She didn't want to spend $75, $85, whatever it was, to do this. She says, I can make that. So she took her regular massage pad, any saddle pad would work, and she found these little mesh bags, and the front of it's mesh and the back of it is nylon, has a zipper across the top. And she found these at Academy Sports, a little sporting goods store here. And it's made by Timber Creek. It's 5x7. It's called a mesh pocket. And actually, I have a link that I can send you as well.
So is it shaped kind of like that little pen and pencil holder you used to put in your notebook when you were in elementary school? Is that kind of the shape
Much smaller.
it is? Smaller than that.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
rectangular. Yeah, it's
Okay.
rectangular. I'm going to try to forward this and talk at the same time. Since I'm not computer-oriented, this might be difficult. So I'm going to try it.
Well, I found the expensive $80 one, but that's not the one we're going to get.
Isn't that something?
Wow.
Right. Yeah. Creative people. So she took her little portable speakers for her iPod, and took some safety pins, like blanket pins,
Mm-hmm.
and pinned them to the pad, again, right kind of behind the cantle,
Mm-hmm.
onto the pad, and runs her little wire from her iPod, puts the iPod in her pocket, and rides to her music. She can hear it wherever she goes, no matter how hard the wind blows. And so she doesn't have to be dialing around. She put special playlists, so she'll have canter music and trot music.
Or you can, if you're one of those people who likes to just listen to generic music and just put it on shuffle or something.
Yeah, that's what I do.
That's a cool idea.
I know. Isn't that really exciting? So if it was mesh all the way through, it gets really hot here, I would imagine there would be a potential for damage to the speakers because you wouldn't want to get them wet. But the back is nylon.
Yeah.
So you can just wipe it off.
It's protected.
Take it off. Take your, unpin it, the whole thing, put the pad in the washing machine, or take the pad to the show, and you haven't damaged your pad. You haven't done anything permanent to anything.
Right. Yeah, so
pad.
I like to listen to music when I ride, too, although I don't have an iPod.
Mm-hmm. Well, you could I use my phone.
Right, you could put your phone in there. But what I'm thinking is you could take those little mesh squares, and I'm going to make sure I include on the show notes page a link to that you're sending me. I'm going to put that on the show notes page, folks, so you can click on it too. If you wanted to make something a little bit more permanent, because I don't have show pads because I don't show anymore. Everything's just a use it every day pad. You could stitch that down so that even when you wash the saddle pads, the little squares just stay there all the time. Now, the iPod has to have a wire that goes from the pod to the speaker, and then there's two speakers.
One on each side.
And then there's a little wire that goes from one speaker to the other. Right.
And that she runs across the loin of the horse, right behind the saddle.
Right behind the saddle. So you would just take that all out, but you could also if you put your iPod on shuffle, so you don't have to touch it anymore, you could also take that and drop it in the pocket along with one of the speakers, so you didn't have to wear it on you.
Yeah, if you don't want to change it. Yeah,
if you don't have to change it. That's a very clever idea. And now that I'm thinking about it, for those of us who like to go for really long trail rides at a relatively slow gait, you could listen to books on tape. You could listen to Audible.
That would be cool.
Would that not be awesome? You could listen to Audible books while you trail road. Because I hate having buds in my ears.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. That's great. I like that. Oh, you know what? Now, there have been several incarnations of this, so I'll tell you ahead of time. She tried the Velcro, and so all these pockets on there, it didn't really work out so well.
So
unless, I guess, maybe you're a master.
Yeah, word to the wise, don't bother with Velcro.
Yeah,
okay. And the mesh is not going to muffle the sound at all, because they do make saddle pads for English saddles that have little pockets on the side, so you can put junk in them. But that's going to muffle the sound a lot. You wouldn't want to use that.
Yeah, that didn't work at all. We save that for when we go on the competitive trail rides, and we put Gatorade and power bars that we don't usually eat anyway. It just eats the sound.
Yeah, it just muffles it.
So that's what she used as a template for the first thing when she started to Velcro things down, and then you couldn't use the pad again because it already had Velcro on it. It looked weird when you rode without it. But it's got to look just right.
This thing's been thoroughly tested, hasn't it?
I'm telling you, this was the better part of the summer. It was quite the process. It was very interesting to watch it evolve.
Oh, that's fun. Oh, it just showed up in my inbox. There it is. Look at that. Oh, and I see she put it up real close to the. She put it up close to the saddle. It's not hanging down there on the corner, so it doesn't flop around. That is darn clever. I'm going to make sure I put the picture in the show notes.
Isn't that brilliant?
And then I will put the link to where she got those little sacks. And I'm sure if you have a good sized sporting goods store in your town, you'll be able to find them.
Yeah, she said it was in the camping department.
Yeah, they make every kind of little dim-witty sack imaginable for camping now, so that's a fabulous idea.
I would imagine.
Yes, well, we're going to have to give it a name. Tell the lady who invented this she's going to have to give it a name.
I told her she should start mass producing it and fund my covered arena.
There you go. Awesome. And you heard it here first on Horse Tip Daily. Well, now the word's out. Everybody's going to be making them at home.
I know. She'll have to just jump right on that tomorrow.
Okay. Well, thanks again for the fantastic, clever idea, Michelle. We're all going to be out there shoving our iPods in little mesh sacks tomorrow.
That's right.
Well, we'll be seeing you next time, eh?
You bet. I'll be there.
Well, there you go. To listen to all of Michelle's tips, just go to horsetipdaily.com and go to the Experts drop-down menu on the left. You can also go to Right Lead Equestrian Center's website at rightlead.com and see what the whole gang is up to down there in Louisiana. Don't forget to support our sponsors on his Horse Tip Daily, because they really do make these podcasts possible. Today's sponsor has been feedxl.com. And as a matter of fact, I just logged on to feedxl.com this week to check on my horse Beaker's diet since it's changed a bit with the colder weather. Well, I discovered I was not meeting his caloric needs, meaning in the long term he would start to lose weight, and I discovered this before he started to get skinnier. But I also discovered that I was giving him too much of certain vitamins in his diet. So I was able to use the feedxl.com to add and remove a few things, see what happened to his nutritional profile, and get his caloric needs met, as well as his vitamin and mineral needs met. And I saved a little bit of money to boot, because you can put the cost of what you feed your horse in there. I was able to remove a supplement he didn't really need that I thought he did, and add a little bit of calories that he did enjoy. And now I've got a perfectly balanced diet for the winter. Thank you so much, feedxl.com. My horse budget appreciates it. Please stop by the Horse Tip Daily Facebook page and let us know what you think of the tips you hear on the show. It's also a great place to tell us about topics you'd like us to cover on the show. You can subscribe to all of the great shows on the Horse Radio Network through iTunes or Zune and get your horse podcasts automatically downloaded to your iPod, Zune, or MP3 player. I'll be back again tomorrow with another new expert and a different horse tip. Until then, go ride your horse! The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements of guests or their opinions. Use your own judgment when listening to the tips provided by the experts on Horse Tip Daily.